I've just realised that I completely forgot to share this on
Yeah.
Instagram, so I'll have to share the backlog instead. Oops.
Yo. We actually made
Yo.
it. Episode 4. Didn't think that we was going to make it on in time tonight, but we'll get to that. Rev, how have you been, my friend?
I've been good, and to be completely honest, I didn't think we were going to make it on tonight. Also, I totally didn't just lean over to put the background footage on because I forgot to put it on. That's
Oh, well.
totally not why I leaned over just then.
If that's the worst of your troubles today.
Well, yeah, I'm having a leagues better day than you because you've been rushing about.
Yeah. The bed broke last night. Yeah. Nothing exciting. But the bed has been like clanking and making weird noises for a while. We decided to have a look earlier, and it's just completely just rotting away. It was like a 30-year-old bed or something like that. Like, it was an
Jesus.
expensive bed. It was like apparently my wife tells me it was like a 800 to £1,000 bed, but it's an old £1,000 bed.
How much?
Yeah. Obviously, we never paid that for it. It's from before
Well,
I was born. But yeah, it was like rotting away, and yeah, it needed to go. But of course, the bed is in the Star Wars room, so navigating that is a fucking nightmare.
well,
And
yeah.
then our eldest was at a birthday party, so we had to get it all done within this short time frame, and we had to buy a new bed and get that one up, and it's just been a fucking nightmare of a day. But it's done now, and the room looks
And
good.
now, as well,
Around the wood, but yeah, it looks class.
and now we can talk about Star Wars. So
And now we can talk about Star Wars. Thank fuck.
exactly.
What are we talking about today? What are the topics?
Our own projects. That's one of them.
Oh yeah, we was going to talk about Star Wars games and our fan projects. I don't have
Star
as
Wars
long
games.
today.
Yeah. That's fine.
Just because I'm fucking all over the place this weekend. But we're going to cover these two projects. Should we go in first with our fan projects? Rev, do you want to tell myself and everyone else about your fan project? Because I don't know all that much about it. Besides,
Well, to be fair, I was actually going to say you should go first because yours is right round the corner. Yours is very close. Mine is the exact opposite.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk first about mine?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so December 1st is when mine comes out. It's a fan comic, a profit-free fan comic called Vader Mind's Eye. I haven't talked much about when the story takes place or anything like that, because I've been saving it for this stream.
I mean, to be fair, until a few weeks ago, it sounded like you didn't know when the story was taking place, given that error that you had to correct.
Yeah, so there was an error that almost slipped through the cracks after like the 1,000th time proofreading the fucker. I had put BBY instead of ABY, which would have ruined my life forever. If I'd have published that shit, that would have bothered me forever.
I wish you could have seen my reaction to that, because it was sort of like, you know, when you look at something and at first you sort of like, you don't catch it, so you're like, well, what's the problem? And then I was literally looking at my phone like, okay, so it says BBY. Oh no!
Yeah, man, I'm so glad that I caught it. I read it so many times as well. It took me longer than it should have to spot it. But the story
eventually.
Yeah, the story's set right at the start of The Empire Strikes Back. So we're talking 3 ABY, and it is basically, do you know when Vader says the rebels are there, they're on Hoth, go there? I'm sure Skywalker is with them. And then he retreats to his meditation chamber, and the Empire take the fleet to Hoth. And then by the time we catch up with Vader again, he's just coming out of his meditation chamber, and he's in a fucking sour mood. So my story
he's
is
pissed.
basically, it's going to show you why he's maybe in such a sour mood when he returns from that meditation chamber, and exactly what does Vader think about during those times, during his downtime, because he's not going and playing a pod racing game, despite that meme.
Yeah, he's alone with his own thoughts. It's just him in there. I also think it's funny that you said. I think it's funny that you say Vader leaves the meditation chamber and he's in a sour mood, as if Darth Vader isn't always in a sour. I think it was like Sam Witwer said something like, "Vader's not exactly a happy dude ever."
No, he's not. And this story absolutely shows that as well. It's those quiet moments where there's nothing but his own thoughts, and I like to think that the part of Anakin that never goes away, deep within, he really surfaces in those moments, because it can't be all rage all the time. Right? There has to be some sorrow in there, and I think that sorrow really comes to the surface when he's on his own, and there's no one to lose his temper with but himself. And I feel like he feels deep sadness in those moments. So I wanted to cover like inside his mind eye in those moments, and I'm not necessarily a good artist. If there's any such thing as good and bad art, I'm not too sure. That's a tricky topic, but I'd never call myself an artist, despite doing all of the artwork in this book by myself. I've done everything on this book. So I did the storyboards, the script. I've done all the art. Scanned it digital, did all the colouring, the lettering, all completely on my own. I just sort of taught myself and drove myself up the fucking wall with it.
As every artist. Well, there you go. That's the main thing that every artist does.
Yeah, so success in that regard. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really, really proud of it, because it's all come from me. And you know, it is something that I'll treasure forever. I'm going to keep a copy for myself, and I'm really, really proud of it. It's stylized in a way that I could keep the art consistent, and it has a certain aesthetic to it, heavily inspired by Gendy's Clone Wars.
I did notice that, because I've seen a few bits and pieces of it, and the thing is as well, I didn't really know what it was about until just now. I just want to say that sounds fucking great. That is a story that I want to read. But
thank you, man. Well, you'll be getting your copy, and you'll probably get your copy before December 1st, so you'll be able to let me know what you think about it.
But when I looked at some of the art styles, specifically the cover, I was like, oh shit, it looks like OG Club. That was the first thing that I picked up on. So I think most Star Wars fans would look at that and they would, and you say you're not an artist, but the fact that I've looked at that and the first thing that I jumped to in my mind was the inspiration that you had, I think says quite a lot.
Thank you, man. That's nice of you to say. I do hope people like it, and I feel like there's some interest there already from what I hear. So it's nice as well, you know, to not be putting your time and effort into something that no one's bothered about. There's enough people that are bothered to, you know, really make it worthwhile. And then it means a lot to me in general anyway. So yeah,
And
I'm happy that I've done it. Yeah.
Well, obviously not everyone will like it, but that's just not only does that go for Star Wars, that goes for everything.
Yeah, and especially Star Wars. I mean, you get professionals writing comic books, and people complain about those. So I'm sure some people will see it and hate it. But
that's Star Wars fans in a nutshell, anyway. That's just how it is.
Yeah, it is. But in summary, I'm really proud of it, and I'm glad that I've done it. Really glad that I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad it's over, but I'm glad I've done it.
It's gonna be so cool. You're gonna have to get like the front cover, and you'll have to get it blown up into a massive poster to put somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That should be on like the front of the. That should be on like the door to the Star Wars room, just at the front.
That's a hell of a shout. That is a hell of a fucking shout. Moving on to you, anyway. Yeah, a Bane fan film, and that's about the extent of my knowledge of it.
Okay. To be fair, I've not really talked about it in a while. Okay, so I decided earlier this year that I wanted to do a Star Wars fan film in general, And weirdly, it wasn't even my idea. It was my friend's idea, and she's not really that big into Star Wars. She sent me some. She sent me something on Instagram where it was a guy who was dressed in cosplay, and he jumped on top of like a bench in a park, but then he CGI'd it so it looked like he jumped on a TIE fighter. And she was
Right.
like, "Oh, we should do something Star Wars related." And I was like, "Okay." And I was really bummed out because I had an idea for a Star Wars fan film about 2 years ago, and I decided, oh fuck, it'd be really cool if I did a Star Wars fan film where a bunch of like soldiers are being picked off by a Sith Lord in a forest. It's like a Star Wars version of Predator.
Mm.
Then the Acolyte happened and did exactly that, but way cooler because it was Jedi instead. So I literally watched that episode and I was like, this choreography is amazing, but fuck! Like, God damn it!
Hey,
So
that means
then-
it must have been a good idea, bro.
Exactly,
You know what I
but people were saying, why don't you just do a Revan fan film? And that is also something I've considered doing, but in my opinion, it's been done. There is nothing new with that character that I want to tell. Obviously, I'm not saying other people can't do that. They're more within their right. So there is absolutely nothing I could add to that character. I don't think.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that I want to add to that character.
That is what I was about to say. If nothing really interests you to cover as far as Revan's story, then it's not worth putting your time into, because these things take so much of your life up. They take so much effort to conceptualize.
I did consider. In fact, wow, this is kind of how this idea sort of came to fruition. I was like, well, I can't do. Well, I could do a Revan one, but I don't want to. I was like, but I'm sure there's a moment in Star Wars history where Bane finds Revan's holocron. That'd be kind of cool. And then I just sort of left it. So when I realised, oh fuck, the Acolyte has already done my original idea, I messaged her back and I was like, I know what I want to. There's a character. I know what I want to do. And this is before I even read the books as well. So I was like, shit.
I was going to say, because it's only recently that you read that trilogy.
Exactly. I realised, I was like, I really want to just do a short film on Bane finding Revan's holocron and learning from it. Which, to be fair, if you did every single page of that from Path of Destruction, that would be a pretty long film. But I think I was like, okay, that'd be good for like hardcore lore nerds. But people who are just watching Star Wars fan films on YouTube, they're going to want some action. So I was like, well, what else can I do? And I then realised, well, if Bane learns the rule of two from the holocron, or he gets the idea of the rule of two from Revan's holocron, why not then end it with the final duel between him and Xana? Because that is the first time where the rule of two succeeds, if you like. That's the first time where the apprentice becomes the master. So I was like, okay, boom, that's it then. Darth Bane fan film where he finds the holocron, learns from the holocron, meaning I still get to do something with Revan. It's just not something that's new.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we can have a little bit of action at the end with Xana and Bane. Wonderful. Did a mock-up poster with real props, it was a very fortuitous event because we were doing some work in our back garden at the time. And we had to pick up loads of slabs that had bits of, honestly, it was a nightmare, but concrete underneath. So I smashed all of the sort of cement off because we had to do that anyway to lighten them. And I built, you can see it on the poster, I built a small little structure to look like a cave. And I don't know if it's visible on camera, I put my holocron in the shot and just took a picture of it. And I was like, there you go, poster done.
No way, bro.
So then...
I'm fucking excited for this. Even if it wasn't you that was doing it, just knowing that someone is doing it, and then it just happens to be my boy that's doing it, it's fucking sick.
Oh.
How far along are you with
Well, not. Oh God, no. I will say straight off the bat, this thing is years away. This isn't coming out for a while. This is sort of like a long-term goal. So realistically, I've announced it way too early, but fuck it. So the first thing I obviously did, bought the whole trilogy, because I was like, even though I'm only adapting 2 scenes, technically, I don't want to adapt any of these characters in any capacity without reading and understanding them. I personally think that's wrong to do. I think that's kind of foolish to do.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that as a nice, happy coincidence, I read the trilogy and fucking loved it. I thought
Yeah.
it was amazing.
How
And
could you
this is
not?
where things get a little bit uncertain, because originally the plan was to adapt two scenes from the trilogy, one from book one from book three. Now I really want to do a scene from each one.
It
The
makes
problem
sense.
is, the scene that I want to do from book two would be extremely expensive and is extremely elaborate, which is, for those who have read Rule of Two, it's
I'm
when
trying to think.
Bane and Xana fight the Jedi on Typhon,
Of course, yeah.
which is
And
like
they
the
kill.
coolest scene in that book.
Yeah, it is, and it always comes to mind when people complain about the Sith killing Jedi and the Acolyte, because I'm like, they've literally
Yep.
been killing Jedi their entire extinction. Do you know what I mean? Bane and Xana killed Jedi, like Maul killed Jedi. But anyway, I digress.
But
Lord Goob says, sounds cool. Haven't seen a Bane fan film yet. There isn't that many, is there? If any.
there's probably one somewhere. But
Yeah.
a
A
lot
lot
of
of them
it
are
just comes
AI or
down. That is also something that I will state, because I've posted about this already. For people who might be wondering, AI won't be used in anything in regards to. There won't be any AI backgrounds. There won't be any
yep.
AI sounds or music. No AI voices.
Mhm.
Nothing. This will
Can
all
I just
be. I
double
think I
down on
said
that and say the same for my
yes.
comic book? All of that fucking artwork, and I'm sure I'll get one or two that are pointing at AI. That was all fucking me. I've got the paper to prove it with the pencil still fucking drying on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me. There's no AI.
That's how it should be.
I like
But
playing around with AI. I like turning my daughters into Disney princesses and shit. I like putting myself in a spaceship for fun.
see, it's like. But
It
then there's
should not
me who
replace
it's
art.
like. Then there's me who's like, so there's you who sort of like casually uses it for things like that, and then there's me who is like V from V for Vendetta, but against AI instead. It's like no.
It's all you
Um,
young'uns. You can't stand it.
you're not that much older than me.
Oh, bro,
Okay, kind of
30's
are.
coming. 30's coming.
30 is coming. 30. I'm 23 in 3 weeks, so
Well,
23
I'm
is coming.
30 in like 5 weeks, bro.
Oh, it's great. It's so funny.
Yeah. You
I
ever
think
seen the
we
film
old
Tick
after
Tick
that.
Boom?
Yes, very good film.
Oh, mate, what? Do you like Tick Tick Boom?
I really liked Tick Tick Boom.
What a
But I
fucking
like
boy.
Andrew.
This is why we do a podcast together. It is top 5 for me in movies of all time. And that movie, of course, is.
Really?
Yeah, mate, I absolutely love it. He's fretting, isn't he, about turning 30 and stuff, and it's just really resonated with me this year. We watched it last night.
It is
Rewatched
a
it, obviously.
very good film.
We've watched it since it came out. We fucking love it, me and the wife.
Do you want to something really funny about this isn't this isn't a deliberate reference in Tick Tick Boom. I just think it's really funny. I can't remember if he works. Does he work at a coffee shop? I can't remember.
He works in like a cafe.
Yeah, so that cafe, the Moondance Cafe that he
Yeah.
works in, that is where Mary Jane worked in the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. So even in
Oh
Tick Tick
my
Boom,
god!
there's kind of a Spider-Man connection to Andrew
And
Garfield
she's
a
an
little bit.
aspiring actress. What the fuck?
Exactly,
That's blown
exactly.
my mind, brother. And I just can't get
Oh,
over the fact that you're a fan of the film. I absolutely love that.
oh, I loved it. Me and my friend watched it together because he's a musician, so he likes musicals
Yeah.
anyway. I really like Andrew Garfield as an actor, and just the scene. Spoiler alert for this 4-year-old movie. The scene where his friend says that he's HIV positive, and then he goes to Andrew Garfield's character goes to that
Yeah.
stage, and he's
And
performing
he
on the
plays the
What a
piano.
scene!
Oh, bro.
What a scene! But
It's just a
I've just
fucking
realised
spectacular movie.
funnily enough, speaking about films and how we do a podcast together, I didn't reply to you because the comment was old, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just bring it up on the podcast. But it's something we've talked about before. It was a ranking of the Predator movies, and your top comment was that the first one was overrated. And as a joke, I nearly responded, going, "Don't start again! Don't fucking do it! Don't!"
I think it is, man. I revisited it
It's
this year,
so
and I was like,
good.
this is not as good as I remember it being when I was a
Have
kid.
I ever told you what my best viewing experience with Predator was? The first one.
Go on. You haven't?
So, my best mate, he lives with his dad, and thankfully, at his dad's, we are allowed to smoke indoors. And I watched all of Predator while smoking a cigar the entire time, and it is a top 5 viewing experience of any fucking movie I've ever. It just made it more immersive.
You felt like Dutch himself.
Oh, it was great. When he's like lying back in the helicopter and he lit it, I was just sat on the sofa lying back and I lit mine. It was great.
And then
the thing is,
just
it was
jumps
such
out and starts hunting you.
exactly, but it was such a big cigar that I made it last for I think up until the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Wow.
But we've done it again. We've gone off on a tangent.
Well, I just got flashes to our 50th stream, bro. When we light those
Christ.
cigars in celebration. Episode
See, the
4.
thing is, though,
we'll get there before we know.
The thing is, though, I can't smoke a cigar on stream because what am I going to do? Drill a hole in this?
Oh yeah.
What am I going to do?
Well, brother, that
will have to be like a that I think the cigars should be like a post-stream celebration. On the stream, we could drink because I can just use a straw.
Sipping.
I'll just drink rum. Oh, I'll be on the rum. I'll be talking like Jack Sparrow 5 minutes into the fucking stream. But yeah. So I don't know how we got onto Tick Tick Boom from AI. How did we do that?
Fuck knows, but it's what we do. It's what we do.
But anyway, so yeah, both of our fan projects, AI is not used in any capacity whatsoever. Just absolutely not. As for the Bane Fan film, obviously, I think the biggest, not hindrance, but the biggest hurdle of any Star Wars project, if you want it to be good, is money. Star Wars projects, whether they are fan-made or not, they can be fucking expensive to make. And I remember someone saying a few months back, when I announced it on TikTok, they were like, "Oh, you should do the Obelisk armor." And I was like, "Do I look like Disney? Do I look like I have millions of dollars to put into this budget? I can probably get someone to make it for like $1,000. That'd be fine by me. Pardon me.
We can't make any money off these, so these are completely profit-free. Like, this is what allows us to do them, is because we're basically playing in that universe, right? We're making fan art. We can't make money. We can't ask people
to get it kickstarted.
Things.
Yeah, no Kickstarter allowed.
It's all on us. We got to put this thing together. Whatever it costs, and it's for the love of the game, and it's as simple as that. For those that have no experience in making fan projects, all the copies that I have currently being published right now, I've paid for out of my own money. People will get their copies that have claimed them. They're not paying for them. They're not paying shipping or anything like that. I can't charge for anything, so it's literally for the love of the game.
It really is, and for me, the Bane Fan film is just a way to because for those who don't know, I did film and media at college, so I even have, it's not a full degree, but I mostly have a degree in filmmaking. So this is just something that I love doing in general. The big pro is that it's a Star Wars project. It's technically a Star Wars project set in the Old Republic, just at the tail end of it.
Yeah.
And it's also it's a character that I have now completely fallen in love with because I think Bane is an absolutely amazing character. But in terms of the writing process and casting, there is still nothing yet. I don't even know yet if we're going to adapt 3 scenes. I want to, but it all depends on budget and whatever. The only things that I have definitively thought out in my mind is that Bane's lightsaber will be accurate to the book. It will be curved. It won't be straight like it fucking is in canon. That's ridiculous. Absolutely not. And it will be red like it is in those novels as well. I know it's purple on one of the covers of a comic. That Bane's saber is not purple. As much as I love the purple lightsaber.
That issue 4 of Jedi versus Sith, isn't it? Is it issue 4?
I know it's an issue of Jedi versus Sith. I don't know if it's issue 4.
Shall I have a look?
Yeah, have a Google. But yeah, if we can do the Obelisk armor, which is the biggest goal other than getting the film done, that'd be great. Obelisk armor doesn't automatically mean big Jedi fight scene.
It's Hop on the cover of issue 4.
Is it issue 1?
Issue 3.
Oh, you were close then.
Yeah, issue 3, mate, with Bane with the purple Hoth. Issue 1 is
oh, we're such fake fans. We didn't exactly know what fucking cover of a comic book we were talking about. But then those same people will look you. But then those same people will look you dead in the face and go, "Oh, but Bane had a purple lightsaber." No, he didn't. Even in that comic, he doesn't have a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, doubtful that those people even read the fucking comics. They've probably just seen that picture and it's just stuck in their tiny little brain.
Probably.
Right, if you don't have anything else to say on your fan project, I think I've covered all of mine. So we could move on to our final topic.
The only thing that I've got left is I was absolutely adore for it to be able to release it in 2027. That's the earliest.
Mm-hmm.
Do not, nobody hold your breath for that. That can always change. So yeah, the goal is 2 or 3 scene adaptation, each one from the book, one of the books, hopefully. Obelisk armor is a goal because I know people don't like it. I fucking love the Obelisk armor. I think it's awesome. The helmet is really dumb, but the helmet's going to have to be worn regardless because accuracy, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's my sort of long-term goal at the minute, is to make this Bane Fan film, hopefully releasing sometime in 2027.
It's good, man. It's going to be good whenever it comes out. The last thing that I'll say on my comic is just reminding everyone, it's December 1st. 9 a.m. is when it's going to drop digital on my TikTok page. So it will just drop at 9 a.m. Just as like a slideshow. A digital version of the comic will almost be like a TikTok post. And then, yeah, when the physical copies come, I'll start shipping them straight out to everyone that's claimed one. And when it arrives, you'll probably get it before December 1st. So
Joke's on you. Every physical copy was claimed by me.
Yeah. Sabotage. Our final topic today, for a shorter show, is Star Wars games. We're going to talk a little bit about upcoming Star Wars games and some of our favorites as well. I don't know exactly how we want to lead with this topic, but
I'll get the big one out of the way in terms of upcoming games, or what I think is the big one, because it's in the thumbnail. Yeah. Knights of the Old Republic remake. Just letting everyone know right now, even though we all
can't wait.
2042, yeah, but even though we all still know very little about it, I do want to let people know it is still happening, because for those who aren't necessarily in the know, Saber Interactive has said it's still happening so many times. And the thing is, a lot of people get really angry at Saber, saying, well, why can't they just show this? Why can't they just get on stage and go, it's coming this year, or we're doing this? The reason they can't do that is because Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is not Saber Interactive's IP. They legally cannot do that. But just to let everyone know, obviously the remake went through some trouble, so here's a quick rundown. Aspire were originally in charge of the remake. There were some internal issues with it. Some people say it's Sony, some people say it's Disney. I personally think it's Sony, because Sony are dicks. Then again, Disney can also be dicks as well.
And Solo.
The game then went to Saber Interactive, who, I'm going to say this, I've played I've got nearly 400 hours in Space Marine 2. I trust them with this remake wholeheartedly. They're a really good studio, in my opinion.
And a really good name to make a Star Wars game.
Exactly. And also some other stuff that we know. Basically, Saber's got it. When they were with Embracer Group, Embracer would release their earnings calls, sort of thing. Every single earnings call, Kotal Remake was listed on there every single time. Mm-hmm. And then even after Saber Interactive split from Embracer Group, I think it was the CEO of Saber basically still hinted at the fact that they have it. Obviously, again, people need to remember, legally, it is very picky and choosy at what they can say because they don't want to get fucking sued. So yeah, we don't really know anything about it. There's been some rumours, like there's a rumour that Darth Malik has a different voice actor, which is a bit disappointing. But apparently it's some... Exactly. There's a rumour that it's someone called Jason Spisak. And apparently he was in Arcane. I've seen a few clips of Arcane. And I know I've seen clips of him in Arcane, and yeah, he can do it. In my opinion, I think he's got it down. The only returning cast members that we know of is Jennifer Hale because she was in the trailer 4 years ago. And the actors that we know for a fact aren't returning are Vrook and Canderous because unfortunately their voice actors have passed away.
Really?
That is basically, yeah, man, Ed Asner, and I can't remember Canderous's actor's name off the top of my head, but yeah, the game is still happening. I don't know when we'll see it. We don't know when it's coming out. Also, I know some people are still annoyed that it's a PS5 exclusive. In all of the Embracer earnings reports, in all of the Embracer earnings reports, it said PS5 and PC. Also, in the remake trailer that we got, it says, or in the press release when the game got announced, it specifically said a console launch exclusive. That to me says it would be exclusive at launch and would like the Silent Hill 2 remake, it would go to different platforms. It might not be on Xbox, we don't know, but we know for a fact it will be on PS5 and PC. So basically, me and Steel will be able to play it, no problem.
Yeah, well, they could also be looking at doing like the Steam machine now as well. That's coming.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for that.
We don't know what other consoles are going to be around by 2042.
Yeah, or 2077 or 3077, whenever it decides it wants to come out. But either way, the game is still happening. Don't worry, it's fine. Everyone can stop panicking. So
Good.
yeah.
Good. I want to talk about Jedi 3, Jedi Fallen Order 3, Survivor 3, because I see a lot of comments still flying about that say, like, I hope we get Jedi 3, like, I hope they make a third game. We already know that it's happening. I myself have shared a room with Cameron Monaghan, who has talked about it. Albeit he says that he said that he can't say much about it because he feels like Disney have a red dot sniper on his head.
Yeah.
But he said that it's happening. It is happening. So we don't have to wonder if we're going to get it. It's just a case of when.
Exactly. And
what do you want to see from Jedi 3?
Well, before I go into what I want to see, in fact, this is technically something that I want to see in Jedi 3. I think so many fans are going to be in for a shock when they boot up that third game and you cannot use the dark side as Cal, because I do not know why fans have it in their head that in the third game, Cal is either going to turn to be a Sith, he's going to be a grey Jedi. It's like, no. The ending and his story in Jedi Survivor make it pretty clear that that's not, like, I always say to people, what do you think him putting down the red lightsaber represented? What do you think that meant? And Seer even said in the first game, every Jedi faces the dark side. Cal has done that. In the marketing, I'm pretty sure there were hints that Cal was going to use the dark side.
Yeah.
That story he's done, we're not doing that again. And also,
agreed.
He's got Kata, he's got Merrin, he's got Grit. He's not going to be teaching Kata, or whatever her name is, the ways of the dark side. He's already seen what that did to Bode. And I know people like to say, oh, but at the end, you press embrace the darkness, which, by the way, fucking 10 out of 10 moment. Oh my God. And yeah, that's true. But that doesn't really mean he's a grey Jedi or a Sith now. And again, people like to say, oh, there's no such fucking thing. But also, people like to jump to the thing of, oh, but if you explore the world after the story, you can still use the dark side. Yeah, that's probably because the devs were like, fuck it, we've given it to them, let them keep it. Let them keep. It's just a gameplay mechanic. I bet in lore, if you look at the game in perspective of the way the game is presented, he probably canonically only uses it whenever he uses it when the game prompts you to use it, or if he uses it in a cutscene.
Yeah.
And there's the whole thing as well of Merrin literally says, I won't let you turn to the dark side. And Cal even says, you won't lose me to the dark side. And I get it. People want Cal to be shooting Force Lightning and ripping Star Destroyers out of fucking orbit. I get it, but that is not what is happening. I think Cal's story is going to mirror Seer's journey. The
Yeah,
difference is, contrary to what people think, I do not think he'll die. I think that's going to be the
I
difference in
hope
their
not.
story. Cal won't die.
Did
I
you see the
hope.
behind the scenes of Tron of him doing
I did.
the combat rehearsal? Mate, get that motherfucker in live action Star Wars. What the fuck?
Oh, they really
I
saw
think.
that and gave the lead role to Jared Leto. Fuck me.
Oh mate, I like Jared Leto,
Oh,
but
I don't.
I'm not sure I
I don't
like him
like
as a lead
anyone.
man. Touching on what you said about Cal's dark side there, I think it's more common than people realize for a Jedi to face their dark side. Like even
Yeah.
Yoda does that in the Clone Wars.
Yes, he does.
We shouldn't look into it so much that he's like on the same path as like Anakin was. Like Anakin was an extreme case of what not to do when like the dark side raised its head. But a lot of Jedi face that. Sia herself, like you mentioned, like she did as well, and she resented the dark side and turned away from it. Cal will probably follow suit.
And the thing is, as well, in the final battle, Cal doesn't fuck Bode up with the dark side until
No,
he's literally about to be killed. He does it because in that moment he has to.
yeah,
And the thing is, as well, I personally think Seer will still be in the third game as a Force Ghost. He's still got Seer to guide him as well.
we see
So
her at
there
the
is
end, don't we?
no
And stuff, yeah.
way, there is no fucking way he's going to use the dark side in the first. Yeah, he might struggle with internal darkness, but I think me and you have discussed this before. The dark side and someone's internal darkness are not the same thing. They
No,
are
they're not.
two different things.
Yeah, Yoda's eternal
So, yeah.
darkness doesn't mean that Yoda ever fell to the dark side or was even
Nice
close.
window.
Yeah,
Nice Window's another example.
yeah. One thing that I really want to see in the third game that I think that will actually be a possibility is Merrin gameplay. I think that
Oh, don't even. I'd love that.
it would be
It's so
so
cool.
good if we could like, have missions where we play as Merrin, because who doesn't want to play as a fucking Night Sister? Do you know what I mean? Arguably some of the most sought after characters as far as like more content goes, and
Yeah.
luckily we're getting that with Ahsoka season 2 by the looks of it and everything. But just right down
Oh,
to the
yes, we
memes and
are.
everything, people want to see that.
I think we will either play as Merrin or they'll do a time jump and we'll play as Kata. Because
How do you
obviously
think?
at the time of those games, what year do those? To be fair,
So they
so I think
start.
Jedi Fallen Order is 9 years later.
No, Fallen Order is like 6.
Okay, and then Survivor's 5 years after Fallen Order.
So yeah, there you go. So yeah, so we're talking like 9 BBY. Right?
Like, do they ever specify how old Kata's 6, isn't she?
I can't
I
remember.
really need to replay, but I'm sure Bode says she's 6 years old, but I could very well be wrong.
I've just replayed Fallen Order. I fucking love that game. I absolutely love it.
I like Fallen Order. I think Fallen Order is good.
I too could replay Jedi Survivor though. To be fair,
God, Survivor's just so fucking. Like, launch issues aside, I think Survivor should be looked at how you do a sequel. It took every
yeah,
single thing the first game did and did it mostly better. The only thing I think Fallen Order did better is that Triller is a better villain than Dagon. I don't like Dagon as a main villain, but even then, is he really the main villain? But he is, but also
Dragon and
Bode
Bird, I
is
guess.
also. But
See, I
I think
actually
Bode
really
is a
like.
better villain than Triller.
I like Dagon as a villain. But I still agree with you. I still actually agree with you. Trilla is the better villain, and because of her ties specifically to Sia, makes her a more interesting antagonist.
I
The
also just think
gameplay.
her performance was better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The gameplay in Survivor is obviously like a massive step up. The launch almost ruined it for me. It pissed me off.
Yeah, you had more issues than me because the PC port of that game was fucking. The only issues I had at launch is that for some reason I would go near a body of water on Kobo and the frame rate would go from 60 to 30. It's like it's
Yeah.
water. What's going on? But
Well,
they
on
thankfully did
PC,
fix that.
for that first week on PC, you know the
bad.
Kobo matter, the dust,
Yeah.
that would literally drop you down to like 10 FPS.
Oh my
was-
god.
It was like it was unplayable. It was like, and then there's so much of the game as well that's set in that Kobo matter, and I was just like, just get me the fuck off this fucking planet, because like everything else leading up to that was not as bad. It was playable. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but
then
that just broke the game.
Yeah, it did. It really did. And then they did an update, and like a lot of the other problems was fixed, but still, I remember flying back to Kobo because I'd gone past that at that point. I'd grinded it out. I remember going back to Kobo to test it, and it was still doing it. And then they did like another update.
No.
Yeah, and then they did another one, a second update, and I checked it again, and it was smooth. But I was like, thank fuck for that. Like, I almost want to restart the game. Like,
I wouldn't have blamed you. I wouldn't have blamed you. You know the main thing I want from Jedi Throne?
Go on.
For the love of God, let me wear a fucking hood and a cape.
Yeah.
Just let me dress a little bit more mysterious and like. I think the customization in Survivor was a massive step in the right direction. I think the customization, aside from the lightsaber, obviously, I think the customization in Fallen Order is abysmal. It's different coloured ponchos, and the poncho is ass as well. The poncho is terrible.
You can't repaint the mantis though, can you, in Survivor?
No, and I really want to know what, because my mantis was black and gold, and I miss it.
Yeah, like, why did
that was a weird choice?
It's strange.
That was definitely a weird choice.
But I agree with you. We want Jedi robes. We want a plethora of different styles.
I still think one of the biggest kicks in the bollocks in Jedi Survivor is that after you beat Dagon or Bode, you can't get Dagon's lightsaber or Dagon's outfit. It is a crime that you cannot wear that outfit because it's so, or dye it to a different colour. Because it's so clean and crisp and badass. But no, we're just stuck with. I think the outfits in the game, the closest thing that we have is the Obi-Wan Kenobi outfit. But that's not
DLC, wasn't it? Or it was a pre-order
special. It was DLC or a pre-order bonus, yeah. But it's still not. That's an Obi-Wan outfit when he's surviving on Tatooine. I'm talking proper Jedi robe, and let me dye it black because I'm not walking around in a beige and brown robe. That's dumb.
Well, Dagon's gear would have been an excellent way to do that. Like, and
exactly.
I'm a High Republic fan as well, so like, to wear the High Republic robes would have been sick. And then if you're not necessarily a High Republic guy, like you say, you can dye the clothes, you can have it black, you can have it beige to look more prequely.
And also, this is also a random one. This is the most unlikely, I think, and I understand why. Just let me wear a fucking helmet or a mask or something. Basically, let me dress up as a Sith. Like, let me dress up, because I said to you a few weeks ago, customization in Star Wars games, I always go back to the Force Unleashed. Yeah, in the Force Unleashed, they were skins. It's a bit, it's customization, but also not really. Doesn't matter. It was fun. If you wanted to run around as C-3PO with a rainbow lightsaber, you could, and it was fucking great. I think one of the biggest issues with the Jedi games is that they're too strict. They're too focused on being in universe and making. The game already doesn't make sense because you can change your lightsaber color. Cal's lightsaber is canonically blue. And I don't know why that's a debate either. It's blue in the trailers, it's the default color when you start, and it's blue in all of the artwork. I don't know why that's a debate either. Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
I mean,
it's not like there's loads of other colors. My Cal had purple. Although, on my first playthrough of Fallen Order, because obviously, unless you're in New Game Plus, you can't change your saber color till the end of the game. I rocked green the entire time. I used green the entire time.
Yeah, green sabers are always my go-to. Starkiller has a green saber for me when I play Force Unleashed. Like, It's always green. If I can choose,
Starkiller.
it's green.
Who did I have with Star? I think with Starkiller, I either go with red or purple because obviously I fucking do. But then
Why is that?
but then in KOTOR, I don't use a red lightsaber. I use the Heart of the Guardian because that thing is wicked. I
Yeah.
love that fucking saber, and I think there's. It's not the Heart of the Guardian, obviously. There's another overpowered crystal in KOTOR 2, but I don't think I've used. You can still get an orange red lightsaber in KOTOR 2, but I can't remember what the overpowered crystal in the second one is.
What color is Mitra's saber for you?
Again, purple.
See, it's weird for me because like I played KOTOR 2 as a kid, and my character was a dude. It was the it was the head with it kind of looked like Obi-Wan, like with the beard and the slick back. And you know, for forever for me, before I grew up and got into law and stuff like that, that was the Jedi Exile to me. So it's still like a weird sort of. Anytime I play KOTOR 2 now, I obviously play as a female character, as Mitra. But yeah, that was a weird.
Always call the character Mitra.
Weird. Yeah.
I also I did a thing recently on my. It wasn't really a recent run because I ended up having to abandon it. But when I went to Korriban, I just walked around as Darth Nihilus because I just modded it where I could wear his costume. But what was really cool was the animations that he has were tied to his costume. So he held the lightsaber the same way. He had some of the moves that he had. It was really, really cool. So I was like just stood on Korriban just looking out into the distance.
When
it
was
so.
This? You say you modded
This was earlier this year.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
I just went on. Did I go on Steamworks? It was probably Steamworks stuff, and then added the robe in, put it on.
I was telling you the other day, I've recently modded the original Battlefront 2 as like the unfinished Battlefront 3, so that you've got ground to space combat on Coruscant. Mate, it's fucking amazing. It's so fucking cool.
Any Star Wars game,
what we all want, right?
It would be cool. I wish they did that in the EA ones, but for me, out of all the Battlefront games, I want to mod the modern Battlefront 2 because I'd love to just convert everyone to, like, Kylo would be Revan, Dooku would be Bane, probably. Vader, obviously, would be Malgus. Rey would be Bastila. Things like that. Because the thing is, as well, it's not even like they've took the models from KOTOR and just slapped them into Battlefront 2. No, these are, like, detailed, modern models of these characters. If Revan doesn't look like that in the remake, I will cry. Because that's what I expect him to look like. I want to look at him on the screen, and I want to be able to see the reflection of my face in his armor. That's what I want.
Imagine if they did Battlefront Legacy or something like that.
Oh, don't even.
Where it was just like where it was covering the Old Republic and the High Republic and like every era, every major era. And they didn't give a fuck about like canon and continuity.
Well, the thing is, as well, is that I remember obviously there was that big movement earlier this year to make Battlefront 3, and everyone was basically saying, do Battlefront 2 again. So, okay, instead of them just going back to a good game and continuing to update it, you want to pay 70 quid for the same thing, just with content that was going to be free. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I wish that they'd just carried on with the updates.
Same.
I think they put that to bed way too fucking soon. I think that has a lot to do with the shitty launch. Because I think sometimes these companies can be so out of touch that they don't realise. It's like when, and I'm proper coming off topic here, but do you remember when Disney blamed Solo bombing on recasting characters? Do you remember that?
Yeah, and it wasn't that. It was the fact that they fucking launched it between Infinity War and fucking Deadpool 2. It was in the dumbest spot.
Well, it was the controversy as well of it coming out a few months after The Last Jedi, which is the most controversial Star Wars movie ever.
That didn't help. That didn't help. But
to link that back to what I was saying about Battlefront, the launch created such a stigma around that game that
Rightfully so.
yeah,
That
because
was
it was a shitty launch, absolutely, and it's not the first time, is it, EA? But
especially with
the,
Battlefront.
yeah, the launch was so shit, but then the game ended up really fucking good. But they were still stuck that this was like the general opinion that this game isn't the one. So I think that's why they put updates to bed so soon, because they didn't realize that it become a
Unfortunately,
beloved game.
I hate to burst your bubble, but the actual reason is way more annoying, but also hilarious to look at.
All right.
EA made them stop doing content because they wanted DICE to work on Battlefield 2042, which
Is
ended
that
up being
confirmed?
the most, pretty much, yeah, it was, they basically said all hands on deck for Battlefield 2042, which ended up being the biggest piece of shit that
Never
EA
played
ever,
it.
because it was fucking broke. Like, if you look at a list of like most broken games at launch, it would be Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed Unity, and Battlefield 2042. It was fucked.
And
We
Jedi Survivor.
lost Battlefront. That wasn't that bad, especially
It
compared to those three.
fucking was.
But no, bro, in Assassin's Creed Unity, right? Like, imagine this, yeah. So at the start of Assassin's Creed Unity, you're playing as this little boy, and for some reason at launch, this is in the opening of the game, people's faces were disappearing so that only their eyes, teeth, and hair were still there, and it was fucking horrifying. If you Google Assassin's Creed Unity, that is one of the first things that pops up. That is that game's legacy. Rightfully so,
Wow.
because it's a shit game.
Is it? Did you ever see
Not
that glitch on the Mantis on Fallen Order where if you move the camera around and you go inside of Sia's head and you could just see her eyeballs?
Oh, yeah. I
Have you
heard a
seen it?
glitch on the Mantis once where, you know how like Merrin sits in the chair and she sort of looks over her shoulder? For
Yeah.
some reason on mine, I wish I took a picture of it. Her head wasn't in the right. She was bald for a start off for some reason, and her head was forward, so her head wasn't attached to her body. I've also had glitches where Kata, Merrin, and Greaves are all T-posing in the cockpit as well. It's great.
Wow. Lord Goob says, I think Fallout 76 was the buggiest at launch.
Oh yeah, that goes in there as well. In fact, I'd put
I'm not
Fallout
sure.
76 above Battlefield 2042. That game was, gee, put it this way, there was an issue in Fallout 4 where you would get into power armor and then you would get out of it, but your character would still act as if they were in it, meaning their proportions were also fucked. They look like Wendigo monsters.
Wow.
And Fallout 76 was that hard of an asset flip that bug was in Fallout 76. There was also issues in Fallout 4 where automatic weapons, if you fired them, the frame rate would drop, which is shit in a single player game, but it's manageable. Fallout 76 was an online game. So you had these it was so funny. All of the controversies surrounding that game.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these modern games launch when they're unfinished. It's like a given.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're not bothered anymore about truly finishing the game because they feel like the people that buy it first are like the guinea pigs or something. It's really not good enough, really.
We pay them to beta test their game. But the thing is as well,
exactly.
Bethesda has always had this issue. Fallout 76 just happened to be worse, but all of the controversy surrounding that, we're going off topic again, but it's what we do here on the Holonet podcast. The game came out buggy and fucked. That was one thing. The collector's edition had a controversy for false advertising because they advertised that you would get like a nice canvas bag to put. So the collector's edition came with a power armor helmet, and it said that it would come with a premium canvas bag that you could put it in. And in actuality, it came with a fucking nylon bag that would probably rip if you put the helmet inside it. Then, a year later, they had the audacity to bring out a subscription service for the game. So that was also fucked up. And then the funniest one, granted, this wasn't actually Bethesda's fault. They got GameStop, I think it was, to do a red and white version of the collector's edition helmet again. Just as a nice little, maybe if you missed out on the collector's edition or you just want another helmet. And somehow They had to be recalled because there was mold growing in the fucking helmets.
Wow.
So just think, if you want to play Fallout as immersive as possible, stick that thing in your fucking head and get poisoning. There you go. Now you're really immersed in the wasteland. But the legacy of Fallout 76, the legacy of that game, is Todd Howard presenting it at E3, saying, and I quote, "It just works." And then the game came out and it didn't fucking work.
Wow. Good marketing, bro.
No, the moldy helmet is good marketing. The only downside is it's a fucking health hazard.
Unreal. Well, gone are the
I
days
miss
of
the
just
drama with
simply
that game.
buying a complete finished game, popping it in, and just enjoying your time on it. Gone are those days.
But I'm technically a bit of a hypocrite because my favourite Star Wars project of all time was also buggy and fucked when it came out in 2004. Obviously, we can fix that now. Oh, KOTOR 2 was fucking broken. The restored content mod exists for a reason.
KOTOR 2, yeah. I thought you meant the first game.
Nah, KOTOR 2 was fucked.
I've been playing a little bit of Jedi Power Battles recently. Because obviously they re-released it, didn't they? Remastered and all that.
Yeah.
Fun game, man. Hard. Very unforgiving. Like, if you die, they chuck you all the way back at the fucking start. You know what I mean? Like, it's very unforgiving.
No.
But
so I
fun.
shouldn't play this then.
You know, they dump you in the game and they do not tell you a fucking thing about how to play it.
Oh.
They're just like, there you go.
Why?
I mean, I'm sure there's a manual and stuff. Obviously, all games came with a manual.
That's true. Back then they did, and I miss those.
Funny. Now there's no... Yeah, me too, yeah. Well, I don't even get physical games anymore because I don't have a disc drive in my PC. I have an external disc drive to play like DVDs and Blu-ray and stuff. And also PC games in general. Do they even get released physically anymore?
Well, yeah, but the one thing that you have that I do not have, weirdly, is you have a physical copy of KOTOR 2, and do you have a physical copy of KOTOR 1?
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't. I don't.
They're both framed right here, so they're both games there.
Where?
Right where my finger is.
I can see it.
Yeah, 2 discs there, and then that's KOTOR 1, and that's KOTOR 2. And that is the manual, the guide.
Sorry, Jeff. The thing is, every single time I go into CEX, which, CEX is a shithole, we all know it. For those who don't know, who live in other countries, CEX is like a used physical disc store, so you can get DVDs, Blu-rays, games.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they pissed on all the product before they sell you them.
Probably, but every time I go in there, I look for a copy of KOTOR because I want physical copies of them, obviously, but I want them to be in relatively good condition. I don't care about if the discs are in good condition, it's if the cases are in good condition, because I want them to display. Why the fuck would I not? But obviously the game is both KOTOR 2 is 21 years old this year. KOTOR 2, did I say KOTOR 2 or KOTOR 1?
KOTOR 1.
KOTOR 2 is 21 years old this year. KOTOR... They're both over 20 years old, basically. They're not going to be in the perfect condition I want them to be in.
I'm pretty sure that KOTOR 2 came out in 2005 in the UK.
No, it was... Oh, okay, in the UK. Well,
yeah.
I'm going to... Here's a fun fact for everyone.
I remember getting it for Christmas the year that it came out.
Oh, so I got it. Here's how I know. Oh, so maybe... Are you sure you maybe just didn't get it a year late?
I highly doubt that, because I remember waiting for it. But then I might have got the first one a year later and learned about it then, and then the following year... Maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but I've always just assumed 2005 in my head because I remember that Christmas very well.
But to be fair,
Shall we fact check this?
KOTOR... Go for it. KOTOR 2, in terms of the American release, compared to maybe the British one, came out on my 2nd birthday. So it was meant to be that my favourite game ever came out on my birthday. Obviously, no fucking clue what it was. My interest in Star Wars was still a year out.
It's just talking about the remake when I search. Let's find out here.
Postal 2 remake.
2004.
My second ever birthday.
Was that your birthday?
It was, and the thing is as well, LucasArts forced them to put that out, so I don't think they would have been able to delay the release to the UK. They would have just been for, because it was to meet holiday sales specifically.
It's crazy as well that they just pumped out one of the greatest stories.
They did it in less than a year. They literally, this is what's an even bigger feat about that game. They were going to do KOTOR 2, but then they didn't even have access to the first game's story before the first game came out. They would not let them have it. So they had to wait play the game. Chris Avellone, who at the time didn't actually want to make a Star Wars game, he wasn't that into Star Wars then. He read every book, he read every comic, he played KOTOR 1, and then wrote the best Star Wars story ever in less than a year.
There is something about people that aren't Star Wars fans making Star Wars content, because Tony Gilroy also did the same thing.
Well, yeah, and this is what I tell people.
You don't have to be a Star Wars fan to be a Star Wars
This is what I tell
creator.
people as well. Whenever it comes to so obviously Leslie Headland copped a lot of shit for not being a Star Wars fan. Number one, she is. I can tell you right that she is. But also, I know a lot of people think that whenever someone writes a Star Wars show, because they're the writer, they can come in and change whatever they want. No, that's not how that works. Big franchises like this have their own like lore masters that work at the company.
Pablo Hidalgo,
fundamentally, Pablo Hidalgo, I couldn't remember his name off the top of my head. You can't just go into a Star Wars show and change established canon because you're the writer. That is what people fail to understand about
Leslie Headland talked about this explicitly. She said this. She'd say Pablo was her guide. She said that George Lucas was her North Star and Pablo Hidalgo was her guide. People don't want to listen to this shit. But she's talking passionately about Star Wars, which is what we should want to hear from the people creating Star Wars.
There was a clip that you posted on your TikTok of her at Celebration crying on stage about how Star Wars saved her life. I'm sorry.
Bro, I was there.
How did you not look at that?
I was there
before
I knew how much I was going to love her show before it came out. I was able to stand there in person while she broke down on stage talking about how much she fucking loved this franchise.
And the thing is as well, I feel like people also fail to realise you do not have to agree with everything a Star Wars writer says. I don't agree with everything. Leslie Headland said that she would love to make an Old Republic show centered around Kreia. I'm sorry, Leslie. No. No. No one should do that. Unless their name is Chris Avellone, nobody should do that. Especially if it's about Kreia before that game. No. But you don't have... I don't agree with everything George Lucas has done. George Lucas has done some really dumb shit with Star Wars, I think. And I think most fans agree with that. You do not have to like everything a writer puts out.
It's unrealistic to like every aspect of everything. Like it...
Yeah.
You're never going to get something that you're happy with 100% of. Unless you're closed-minded, unless you're just... nodding along and the type of person that the Disney send free shit to.
Yeah. But it's this idea that you just have to... Every single person that works on Star Wars has to have the same fucking cookie-cutter opinions about it. There's no room for interpretation. Obviously, there are things that are not down for interpretation. If your interpretation is that Darth Vader isn't Anakin Skywalker, you're wrong.
Yeah.
But there are some things that are down to interpretation, and you will not agree with every single writer's interpretation of stuff. You won't agree with everyone's opinion. For example, if a Star Wars writer came out and said, personally, I think the Chosen One prophecy is kind of dumb, I'll agree with them, and I'll also agree with the fact that they're allowed to say that.
I wouldn't agree with them, but they are allowed to say that.
And people also blew the... there was that whole thing about, the writers of The Acolyte haven't even seen Star Wars. Wrong. I think it was one of the directors had never seen Star Wars. That's fine. Directors do not write the scripts.
They direct the actors.
Kathleen Kennedy does not write scripts. She's a producer.
Yeah, people don't know how all that process works. You can tell when they start speaking about it that they don't have a fucking clue how that process works. They think that
They really don't.
Kathleen Kennedy decides what happens in the story. They think that she's in charge of it all, that the writer writes the story with her breathing down the neck. That's not what happens at all.
Not
the
like
writers
that.
take their story to her because she's basically, for lack of a better term, the front man of Lucasfilm, right?
Pretty much.
So she can then present it to the suit people at Disney. That's how that works. And that's what happened with the Hunt for Ben Solo movie, and that's why it got turned down at the last hurdle. But still, it was the writers that wrote that whole story.
Tony Gilroy himself. Keep in mind, Tony Gilroy is no longer obligated to be nice about Lucasfilm or Disney.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing any more Star Wars stuff, to my knowledge. And I don't think he wants to. He's no longer obligated to be nice about them. However, he's come out and said he went to Kathleen Kennedy about ideas for Andor, and her immediate reaction was, yeah, okay, we'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
she's confident as well that everything will fit the law because of people like Pablo Hidalgo who are going to check those things, that know better than Kathleen does about Star Wars law. It's not Kathleen's
people just want
job.
a scapegoat. People want a scapegoat.
Mate, I had second-hand embarrassment at Celebration in 2023 when people booed her when she came out on stage.
Oh, fucking hell.
I truly did. She came out to start the stage event, and she got a swarm of boos, and I'm just stood there and I'm just like, you sad cunts, like, what do you think?
It's ridiculous. And people also forget. Do they forget that her filmography has some of the greatest movies ever made? Do people just forget that?
She's possibly the greatest producer in the history of Hollywood, or whatever you'd want to call it.
It's very possible. It is very possible.
People would laugh when I say that because they're uneducated, and it's as simple as that. But she really is.
Exactly. And
also, all the projects that you compare the projects that you don't like to, not you, Rev, like I'm talking to
the
Fandom Menace, they'll compare like The Acolyte, because they hate The Acolyte, to Andor. Well, she greenlit them both. So
yeah, she was directly involved with both of them. People sit there and go, oh, I hate Kathleen Kennedy, all these projects. It's what I say about Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy when I talk about them both. Every project at Disney Dave Filoni has been involved in, she has also been involved in. And I'm sorry, if an episode is directed badly and Dave Filoni has directed it, this might hurt some people. That's Dave's fault. That is not Kathleen's fault.
I've said a few times, you can't keep blaming Kathleen for everything that you don't like and praising Filoni for everything that you do, because both of them have their hands in every pie in Lucasfilm. So
and
that's
people
the
will
ones
say,
that you don't like and the ones that you do.
People, Kathleen Kennedy's going to ruin KOTOR and make Revan a black trans woman. It's like, I don't even think Kathleen Kennedy knows who Revan is. For one, he's not a film character. He's a game Kathleen Kennedy probably has no... In fact, I can guarantee you, she has no input over the games. Lucasfilm Games is a separate division.
Yeah.
She doesn't sit there and go, oh, you can't do that. That's not how that works.
People would say, oh, well, then she shouldn't be making Star Wars. She's not making Star Wars, bro. She's
I'm deaf
now. Making it. That's like...
I feel really bad for audio listeners.
I know, yeah. Sorry.
Steal ASMR. But I genuinely... And I say that I'm very open about this. I used to be somebody who fucking hated Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson and Last Jedi. Like, it's so pathetic. She's not the... It's like how... Because obviously back then, when I was a teenager, before I grew up like a lot of Star Wars fans refused to do, I'd watch people like fucking Critical Drinker, who's a twat, and all he would do is slate Brie Larson. And I saw a tweet or a post earlier today. It was just a post about Brie Larson, and someone was slagging her off in the comments. And I thought back to all of that when I used to fucking hate Brie Larson. And I was like, now that I think about it, why the fuck did I even dislike her? And I could not think of a single reason why. Because she's not, like, okay, do I like Captain Marvel? No, not really. Did she write Captain Marvel? No! It's the same with
I
Kathleen
actually like
Kennedy.
that film.
I don't agree with a lot of what Kathleen is. That whole thing about we don't have 800-page novels, we don't have that's really dumb. You do have source material to pull ideas from.
No, but I know what she was getting at. She means that it's not Marvel in terms of like the movies aren't going to be adapting stories that already exist.
Yeah.
That content in the novels and books and the novels and the comics and stuff is always going to be like added lore. It's always going to be in between stuff. I think that's what she was getting at. She means that episodes 7, 8, and 9 wasn't already novels like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. I think that's what she was getting at. So I get what she's saying in that regard. But I guess she did also say like there's no source material, didn't she? So
I just think it's so like I just look at it and it's like why? Like I sort of rounded up reasons as to why I would dislike someone like Kathleen Kennedy and why I would dislike Dave Filoni. And I have way more issues with Dave Filoni than I do with Kathleen. Because Kathleen Kennedy's a producer. She
has more control over what we see.
It's like when people say Dave Filoni should replace Kathleen Kennedy. No, Dave Filoni is a creative person. He's a filmmaker. He's a director. He's a writer. Kathleen Kennedy is a businesswoman.
Those two people do not know how to do each other's jobs.
No, they don't.
It's as simple as that. Like, they don't. If you gave Kathleen Kennedy the means to create a TV show in the way that Dave Filoni does as a creator of it, a writer and a director, she couldn't do that. She's incapable of doing that. She's never done it in her career. In the other hand,
not her job.
Dave can't put on the suit and tie and take these projects to Disney and negotiate with them. Like that's not what he does. So that's a fucking ridiculous thing to say. Simple as.
It's absolutely batshit. People, and again, like I look back on those years of my life and I cringe so hard. Like, even though I still don't like Rey that much as a character, it's like, who gives a fuck what she does? Who cares if she's got the name Skywalker? Who gives a fuck? Really? Like, who cares? Like, and even now, I've said this on the podcast before, I still don't like Last Jedi, but I can now look back, now that the hate boner has long died down, and go, yeah, I don't like Last Jedi, but I can see what it was trying to do, even though it didn't work. And there's things in Last Jedi that I really like. And I've even said now, maybe on the podcast, I don't know, if Rian Johnson got to make a Star Wars movie that had fuck all to do with characters from the films, it would probably be a top 5 Star Wars movie for me. Because I always say to people, KOTOR 2 and The Last Jedi are quite similar in terms of the ideology and the story that it gives you. I think the reason KOTOR 2 works better is, one, because it's the Old Republic, but also
because it doesn't touch any of those
new characters. It was completely new.
Yeah.
That works way more, I think, than what they did in The Last Jedi. But I want Rian Johnson to come back and do something. Sure, let people sit there and say, oh, Rian Johnson shouldn't have another chance. Sorry, everyone didn't want to give George Lucas a chance after The Phantom Menace. And then, okay, he fumbled by giving us Attack of the Clones, but that's okay. But then he gave us Revenge of the Sith.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. Bro, no, he didn't.
he really did. But I hate this idea that it was kind of like with it was a discussion that happened with The Acolyte. Everyone expects a TV show to come out now and for it to be the next Breaking Bad. It needs to be perfect. There can be no errors. The Acolyte was not perfect, but oh my God, was there potential. There was potential there, and you could see it. You could see that there was a plan there, and I'm sorry, you can tell this was made by someone. You want to sit there and go, Leslie Headland doesn't know Star Wars. She fucking put Cortosis in a live-action show. Like, come on.
Well, I think you know how I feel about the Acolyte. A lot of people that will watch this show know how I feel about the Acolyte. I think most of my following came from my Star Wars room and fighting against the fandom menace when it came to the Acolyte.
Didn't we start following each other because of the Acolyte? Because I've kind of forgot this. How did we even start talking? It might possibly be because of the Acolyte.
I don't have a fucking clue.
It's very, very possible. But James Lucino, the writer of Plagueis,
yeah,
he's gone on record saying he likes what Leslie Headland did. But conveniently, fans don't bring that up. So someone who is considered to be a great author, not only that, in many, many respects to most fans, not that I agree with this statement, to many, many people, maybe you agree with this statement, to so many Legends fans, he wrote the greatest Star Wars book of all fucking time. He wrote Plagueis.
Mm-hmm.
So are you really going to sit there now and say James Lucino doesn't understand Star Wars? Because he fucking does.
James Lucino is a beautiful writer. Especially for Star Wars. I don't think he's the best Star Wars novel writer, but he's top 3 for me.
Even as someone who, unpopular opinion, didn't love Darth Plagueis as much as everyone else did, it was still I can still look at that book objectively and say that's well written because it is. All of the dialogue is superb,
beautifully written.
It's a very immersive book.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would argue that if a Star Wars fan is reading a Star Wars book, immersion's not hard because you already have such a picture-perfect view of that world. But
the monologue that Palpatine makes while he's killing Plague.
Even as me, someone who doesn't like Palpatine that much, I was giddy reading that because it was so good.
It ramps up and it just gets better and better and better, and then it ends.
I would say.
Crescendo.
This is sort of how I feel about the Plagueis novel. Starts off well, dips in the middle a little bit, keeps going, rises up, dips again. I think my main issue with the Plagueis novel is that even as someone who likes a lot of the political aspects in like the Phantom Menace and things like that, it's a bit. It got to a point where in fact, here's a drinking game for those who are of age at home. In fact, me and you should do this on episode 50. We'll do this drinking game. Read the Plagueis novel.
Let's do it next week.
No. Read the Plagueis novel, right? And every single time the words intergalactic banking clan are said, take a drink, you'll be drunk in 10 minutes. It got to a point where a lot of that stuff really infuriated me. I was like, dude, just having the Darth Plagueis for a minute and just cut someone's head off just once.
Yeah.
But well.
But it is a beautiful book.
It's very well written. I can still sit here and say objectively, it's a very well written book.
Well, bro, we are an hour and 20 minutes in. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut it short because duty calls and it's been a crazy weekend. But
it really
another
has.
episode I've enjoyed a lot, man.
Another episode done. We didn't really talk as much on Star Wars games, but we talked a lot about Leslie Headland and how Kathleen Kennedy isn't Satan. So
she's definitely not. She's actually like
it's a win-win.
I think she's actually brilliant for the brand and I think she's great.
Legend has it. If you light 3 lightsaber candles in your bathroom with the lights off and say Satan 3 times in the mirror, it's actually Dave Filoni that appears behind you and not Kathleen Kennedy. He grabs you from behind and he holds up an Ahsoka plush toy.
Yeah, it might actually be a swarm of just like Star Wars fans.
No.
That's not who you want in your house either. Let me tell you.
It'll be you'll say annoying prick, and Critical Drinker will just pop up behind you saying, "So Brie Larson's a fucking bitch today."
Oh,
don't know.
Knights of Melvin.
Fuck you now.
Yeah. Let's not get on to Knights of Melvin.
Yeah,
let's just end the stream before one of us says something that starts a bunch of shit. Right, so we'll see you all in 2 weeks, I believe, unless we decide to do one next Sunday for episode 5. Don't have a fucking clue what we're going to be talking about.
I'll tell you what we should do. This
Go
isn't
on.
an announcement. I'm just going to pitch this idea on the spot. I was thinking we should, because I think the way, if we keep streaming every fortnight, this should be the way it works. Our last episode will be just before Christmas, potentially. I think we should try and fit one more in, a bonus one, before the year is out, so we can end it off a nice
Yeah, man,
New Year.
like a Christmas stream or a New Year's stream or something like that.
Oh, if we did a Christmas and New Year's one, you best believe I'm wearing a purple Santa hat on the fucking Christmas one, don't you, bro?
And then we'll watch the
Or,
holiday special on stream.
oh, fuck off. I am not
Bro, we got to.
drinking rum through a straw while watching the holiday special.
We have to, bro. It's the rules.
No, we don't.
You got to watch it at least once every Christmas. It's just the rule.
I do not want to celebrate Life Day.
Oh, why not?
Oh, no. I'm putting my
Right.
foot down.
You guys take care, and we'll see you on episode 5. We'll figure it out what we're going to talk about. Take care.
Yeah,
May
bye,
the force
guys.
be with you all.
May the force be with you.